Hello, I'm Evgeniy Shmukler, and I continue to discover synanthropic or urban wildlife of Israel. Here, among so many other birds, one occasionally has a chance seeing Eurasian hoopoe, that in Hebrew is known as duchifat. This species is a local old-timer, and there is enough evidence for it to dwell around what is now Israel longer than humans, or at least it was already here when Jews compiled their list of forbidden food sources. This bird has once won a state election. It was elected as the national bird symbol of the state of Israel, defeating such potent competitors as Palestinian sunflower, which I myself would definitely vote for, as to my mind it would be a more impressive and charming symbol. No less spectacular white-throated kingfisher, and several other prominent Israeli birds. Duchifat or hoopoe is seen much more rarely than its neighbors, of whom the most common is common myna. This bird is probably the main cause of hoopoe's population decline, because they occupy more or less similar ecological niche with hoopoes, and they are aggressive and collective, often displacing other species through collective offense. Myna's motherland is India. Therefore, in Israel they can be attributed as an invasive species, but they seem to not bother about that at all, as if saying something like, "We are here, this is now our land, and there is nothing you can do about that." Among common species in Israeli settlements are other Indian immigrants that sometimes seem somewhat more legalized, and these are rose-ringed parakeets, having their legal motherland, again in India, but also and mysteriously in Africa. These parakeets has proved to be extremely adaptable. Within several decades, relatively recently, they have conquered vast new domains in Europe and Asia. It is unlikely that they interfere with hoopoes because their diets obviously have nothing in common. Interestingly, immigrant species, being minorities compared to native ones in the number of species, became most common by the number of specimens. Biodiversity of Israel seems to reflect diversity of its human population, and those two are connected because most invasive species are initially brought by humans. Also, let us not forget the fact that Israelis have dramatically changed the country's landscapes during its modern history, and a large part of tree and other plant species were relatively recently introduced from different other countries, creating ecological niches quite attractive for foreign guest species.